That was a horrible clap. God damn it. Well, welcome back. No, you messed it up.
Sorry, sir.
Welcome back to the Like Father Like Son podcast, episode 22. Make sure to subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, Like Father Like Son PCast. TikTok, Like Father Like Son PCast 2716. And email us too, Like Father Like Son PCast @gmail.com. I am Manny, the son.
I think this is where I come in, John, the father.
What the fuck is up, YouTube?
Wow, man. You're going to put me to sleep, man. The melodic sounds of Manny.
I had to do ASMR real quick. Just chilling.
Yes, sir.
But what is up, YouTube? Again, Like Father Like Son podcast, episode 22. And there has been a lot of shit that has happened in the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Whenever the last time we fucking recorded, there's been a lot that has gone on.
A lot has been going on. I think 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
The Dubs are doing really, really good.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. The Giants are doing our spring training juggernaut right now.
Yeah.
Captain America, Brave New World came out. And then Invincible, we're not doing the title card this time. Invincible.
Hope you liked it the first time, though.
Finished. Invincible is not finished. Daredevil, Born Again came out. And
Yes.
100T is that fucking team.
Yep. Yep. By what you were telling me this morning. Yep. In all kinds of games, not just one.
But we'll start off with the Dubs.
Wait. Before we start with the Dubs. Well, I mean,
we're not starting with the Dubs.
It kind of starting with the Dubs. I just want to lead in with some of the sad news, right? Last week, R.I.P. Dwayne Wiggins from Tony. So Bay Area legend, great artist, great voice. So just wanted to make sure that we're honoring him. And this may now lead into the Dubs. So, on one end, obviously, we lost a life, like I said, a legend. And then on the other end, we are celebrating.
We gained a life on the fucking Warriors.
We're celebrating a birthday.
Jimmy Butler.
Oh, no, we're not going there first. We're saying an RIP. Now it's a happy belated birthday to Steph. And that can be our lead into the Dubs.
Greatest shooter.
Yes.
That has ever touched a basketball.
Yes.
No argument.
Yes.
If you have an argument, you're stupid.
That's it. Let's not challenge people's intelligence.
Nope. Stephen Curry is the greatest shooter to ever touch a basketball.
That I would agree.
No one will compare. Yet.
What was the milestone he hit, though? What was the milestone?
70,000 threes.
Wow.
In a single. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. Good gosh.
Curry this past weekend against.
Who was it? Portland?
No.
Yeah,
Sacramento.
That's what it was. Yeah,
In Sacramento.
Yep.
Hit a career high of 4,000 threes, which is an NBA record, and he's the first person to ever reach 4,000 threes.
Well, he's been setting records already, so he had already passed.
He already passed the record.
He got to 3,000. There's nobody at 3,000. I think that the closest right now is James Harden.
It's Harden with, I think
he has 2,900 something.
No, he has 3,000. I'm pretty sure he's 3,000. Thought he had like 3,100 or something.
Maybe. You might be right. Well, he was around some range like that. But
yeah.
The point being, he's far behind.
Apparently, in James Harden's eyes, he's the number one three-point shooter.
Yeah, hey.
Because Steph Curry's in his own island.
Look, man, when you're on the court, you think that you're the number one three-point shooter. So, it's all like a point of view.
Yes, 4,000 threes. Congrats to Curry on it. And congrats on the Warriors
yes, please. Now transition.
A 13-1 record when Jimmy Butler is on the court. 13-2 overall. And
6-game winning streak right now?
Yes.
Yep. So
11 straight win Nuggets with Jimmy Butler
in the lineup. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, man, they're doing hot. He's doing good.
He's doing amazing.
Yeah.
I love Jimmy Butler.
And, we talked about it before, and I told you how at that time when the trade was made that I felt like about it. I think at that time it was still early on. It was like 4-1 with Jimmy and all that
I
stuff.
was the one that was super hyped on the trade.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You were super hyped.
I
And
even got a jersey.
Well deserving, And mind you, my was not that I was hating on it. I remember specifically saying that what I was more intrigued is like, damn, but are we going to make it to the playoffs so that playoff Jimmy could come? Because that was what that
playoff
was definitely
Jimmy and playoff Curry and playoff Draymond
and all that. So, well, right. So right now, when we weren't even in the top 10, we were trying to get into the one-game playoff.
Trying to make the play-in.
Right. So now we're in the
6th seed.
In the 6th seed right now. We're pretty solid there.
Playoff berth.
Exactly. And hopefully if we keep doing well, it'll stay there.
I just realized we don't have our timer.
Yep. We didn't pull that out.
Whatever. There's a timer up here.
We got it, man. But Kuminga's back. We're getting pieces back. What's his name? Post, right? Quentin Post?
Yes. Our 7-foot
guy.
shooter.
Yeah. Well, and I'm glad you made that distinction because I still don't think we're still a little weak in the paint. But as you mentioned, right, he's a good 3-point shooter. He is a big body, right? So that's a good thing. But things are looking up. But like I said, Kuminga's back. He looked strong the other night too. He's
on a minutes restriction, but still he looks strong.
But I heard he hit his average. So he had gotten 18 points. I think that's about his kind of season average. So even in the short amount of minutes that he played, he was out there balling.
Scored a bunch.
Yeah, man, he had a couple good dunks. So that ankle was looking good, and hopefully that he just can another piece that's contributing, right?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be hot.
We hope the Dubs continue to go on this hot streak. My mind went blank for a second.
I saw that.
Go on this hot streak for a second. But speaking of another hot streak, the juggernauts of spring training, the San Francisco Giants, 13-5 record, and a shit ton of home runs.
They're fourth in in all
spring
teams.
Training.
Yeah, they're fourth in home runs. I think like the Yankees and Dodgers are, I think, in front of them. But
well, that's the Yankees and Dodgers.
But they're. But I was gonna say, but the Giants are holding their own. They've been pretty solid.
Yeah.
Not in when I looked yesterday before the podcast, it spread throughout. Like the person with the most home runs on our team is.
Isn't it Chappie?
Yeah, it's Chappie. He has four. Yeah.
Look
but
at that.
Then we got a whole bunch of folks.
I know my Giants players.
Yeah. We got a whole bunch of guys. Yastrzemski with 3.
Yes, has 3?
Yeah, somebody else had 3. Adames only got 1, but that's all right.
Well,
because he's saving him for the real season.
I know Lee, I think, has like 2 or 3.
Yeah, something like that too. Yep.
He's a surprising. He's skinny as shit. I didn't think he'd be able to power it out. I thought he'd be more like a contact guy. That's why.
Yeah, you know what? I think again, it is spring training.
No.
Right?
No, yeah.
And we don't know, exactly what he will do. He does look like a skinny guy, and I don't anticipate that necessarily this trend will keep going, right?
Yeah.
Once you start playing with the more seasoned, pitchers or having to go up against them. We did get him more for speed and that, so.
Yeah, I do. I like Jung-Woo.
Yeah.
I think that was one of our best pickups. I really like Lee. Just the way he plays and everything. I
didn't get enough of him that first year though, since he got hurt. But no, I totally dig him as well.
But his style, even when he was playing, was really good.
Yeah, good defensively and all that stuff.
He's a good little poke guy.
Yep. I wonder, he feels like he's kind of. I know there's a lofty comparison, but kind of like the Ichiro type of style. Speed.
Yeah, I could see that.
Contact. Good defense. I can't remember if he has a good arm.
I don't think he had a lot of plays where he was.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
throwing.
Like, we didn't get enough. We didn't get to see enough, right?
No, yeah.
But But that's one thing I wonder.
Our pitching's back though, kind of, sort of.
Robbie Ray seems to be doing good in spring training.
Verlander seemed to be doing good, especially for being like 73 in spring training.
I know we picked him up, and I do have hopes that he'll bring stuff to the team.
Did you see the Twitter page?
Lord.
You see the Giants Twitter, that Pablo was there?
No. Oh, was he?
And then I saw a retweet or a quoted tweet from it, and it was like, I wonder if Justin Verlander's happy to see him in spring training.
For those that may not know what we're referencing,
Pablo Sandoval fucking owns Justin Verlander. He is his son. Verlander's daddy is Pablo Panda Sandoval.
So, beyond just the references with no information that Manny just provided, so I believe it was in the World Series where we faced
2012.
The 2012
Detroit Tigers.
We faced Detroit Tigers. The Giants. Going into it, it seemed like we were going to be we were super underdog. No, we weren't underdogs. We were super underdogs, and it was because they had a pitching squad. It was Verlander. It was Scherzer. There was somebody else that I'm blanking on. But they had a solid pitching rotation.
Was it Free? No. Sale? No.
That was a Latino guy that they had. But so the point here, while Manny is thinking, is that Verlander started game one. It actually started in Oracle Park, and Sandoval.
What was AT&T Park?
Yes, it was AT&T Park or Pac Bell Park or whatever your preference is. But it was in San Francisco. That's where they played, and the beautiful park, the best one in the country.
In the league.
In the country. Oh, well,
Toronto is not in the country.
That's true. That's true. Even there, in the world. How about we say the world? Let's go with the world.
No, in the league, because there's
better.
some Bahamas ones that are really cool.
Yeah, I don't think Bahamas has the kind of money that are in the States, so I'm gonna stay with the world. So as I'm talking to finish this, the thing was just Verlander. He was in his prime, pitched. Against us, first at bat, I remember against Sandoval, he hits a home run to dead center. It was a shock. It was like, okay, cool, whatever. Second at bat against Verlander, he hits another shot, and that one goes to left field. So he hit two against Verlander. The third one, though, Pablo Sandoval then came back up again, but this was against a reliever at this point. They had already gotten Verlander out the way, and then Pablo hits another one to center. So he did a Babe Ruthian effort that game. And so yes, that makes him his Verlander's daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do wonder. Like, I know if I was Sandoval, I would have been winking at him. I would have been winking at him and all that stuff. But
yes,
that's hilarious.
We do have Justin Verlander on the Giants now. Logan Webb still looks great. Robbie Ray was looking good.
Yep.
Hicks, I didn't see Hicks at all.
I haven't seen. Yeah, I don't know.
But I ask you, what do you feel about the pitching challenges?
The new
thing. I'm not gonna lie, the way they call it is funny.
We haven't gotten too much familiar with it, right? It sounds like the minors had been doing it for actually
minors and college. I think had been doing it for a while.
Before
that's how I saw it.
Yeah. And were they doing it in spring training right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what it was.
Everybody was raving that Alejandro Kirk should be an umpire after he retires. He called a pitch like centimeters off of the zone, and it was called a strike. And he challenged it, and he got the ball.
Wow.
Like, it was literal centimeters off.
Yeah.
So it was actually pretty interesting.
So, of all the new rules, I'm not hating on this one.
I like this one the most.
I'm not hating on it just because, here's where I go with it. I'm a baseball purist. I don't like that everyone went to the DH. I used to like the National and the American having different ways of playing ball. It would play itself out, in a World Series. There's more strategy, all kinds of things. So I was a purist on that. Don't like the new base pads. Don't like the new base running rules. All this kind of stuff, I don't know why it needed to be getting messed with. But aside from that, I also feel that not all of them, but definitely many umpires were taking control of, like they were impacting the game more than they needed to be doing that, right? By calling horrible balls and strikes. There were things so outside or in the dirt or what, and they are calling, and it's like, what? It was just ridiculous. And it was just continued to get worse and worse and worse. And it didn't seem, in my opinion, that there was anything that teams could do, like I don't know whatever the union that protects like the umpires, right? I have no idea how when you do crappy at your job, you continue to keep your job. Like I don't understand that, right? And so, I don't know what the threshold of acceptable, percentage of calls, but it feels like you need to be like up in 98, 99, maybe 95 to 100%. That should be the goal for umpires, to be correct on calls, or else you're messing with folks. You're messing with the game at that point. And so again, this for me feels one of the better ones that I like, because there has just been no kind of accountability from the umpires, it feels like. There's some that do great job, and again, I'm not saying that anyone's going to be perfect. That's why I'm not saying 100%. Yeah. I get it, and that's part of the purity of the game. You may mess up a call, umpires would, somehow they'd even it out or whatnot, but it just was getting too ridiculous. And, I mean, I heard this, I don't know if this is true, maybe, what was it, Angel Hernandez saw the writing on the wall that this was coming, and then he said, man, I'm retiring before I get ridiculed.
I mean, baseball saved with him retiring. Baseball's actually baseball now.
But yeah, well, I mean, but it wasn't just him, though. I mean, others also followed that were like, oh, Lord, what are you doing?
I'm mad at that one umpire.
Which one?
I forget his name, but he got caught gambling on games. Mm-hmm. That same umpire was the umpire that called a perfect game in the World Series. I think it was like Game 2 of the World Series. He was the plate umpire, and he called 100% like correct. But yeah, he was fired because he was gambling apparently on certain games.
Oh, I missed that one. What do you think about the pitch challenge thing?
I like it. It's cool. I'm glad that hitters now have a thing to, if they know it's a ball, to challenge it. I feel like there'd been so many like shitty calls. I called it like Ben Zobrist against the Rangers when it was a curveball literally in the dirt and it bounced like 5 feet in front of the plate, and he gets called strike 3. And other calls that like even the pitchers are like, holy shit, how did I get that call? Mm-hmm. I'm glad that there's a system now to hold the umpires accountable for the whole thing of just not calling shitty calls and not wanting to just get out of the game and like leave quick and whatnot.
Well, and I wonder how you said about accountability. I don't know where it's going to, like, what this challenge system seems that it'll do is it'll get certain pitches right. Like, I don't know if that'll help in making a case, against an umpire to really be held accountable.
But can't they review certain games?
I mean, they can do stuff.
Like how the NBA does?
They can do stuff now. And I don't know to what depths they do stuff.
Hey, I forget what the pitch name is, but fix the Detroit Tigers' perfect game because that motherfucker was out.
So that's a funny one. That obviously it's not a pitch. That's a whatever challenge, right?
It's a challenge.
But someone had said they did retroactively change another game like more recently in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I'd seen that one.
That. So they changed the outcome and they gave somebody whatever an error, or I forgot what it was that they changed in the game. And so that's when people started to say, so then why don't you change that one where it was really clearly a perfect game?
Literally a perfect game.
Yeah. So Jim Joyce was the umpire. I remember that one. clearly.
I forget the pitcher.
I think it was Galarraga. Something Galarraga.
That sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was ground ball to Miggy. Miggy throws it to Galarraga. Galarraga steps on the plate. Or
on first.
First.
Yep. Yeah. But again, this is about getting the pitches right. Hopefully it does contribute to the accountability with the umpires, because it's just like literally, just imagine, teams know this, but it's sad when going back to Angel Hernandez, and I hate to, just pick on him, but it is what it is, right? It is sad when fans come to the game already dreading that he's going to be behind the plate. Like at that point, that's when something is wrong. Something has to happen to correct that, right? And yeah, so I'm hoping that it starts to get implemented fully. I think they were just piloting it during spring break. I don't know if it's going to be completely implemented just yet, but it's on the way. So I'm happy to see it.
I hope it's in the season.
Yeah.
I hope they implement it in the season. They see how good it is, or how effective it is in spring training, and then add it to in season. Because I feel like that'd be really good. Sometimes
those changes may take a little bit longer. Minimally, I hope that they see some goodness in it, and that maybe for the playoffs or the World Series,
that'll definitely
that would be great to implement it. But yeah, good new rule. Totally digging it.
I burped.
Yeah. You got a lot of stuff going on, scratching your thighs, burping.
I know.
All kinds of stuff. Not having a good day.
No. Today's not a good day at all. No, I'm kidding. Today's a great day. Thieves play today. And our Marvel Rivals team played today.
Who,
we're facing Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
At time of recording, we're facing Minnesota.
Gotcha. What are your chances? What is it? Are Minnesota strong, or?
We're about to fuck Minnesota.
Hey, relax. No, you're not going to. You're not gonna.
We're better frick Minnesota.
You might be fucking them up, but you ain't gonna. Just
y'all know what I
them.
meant. YouTube. I guess we're on that train. 100 Thieves. LAT has been doing really, really good.
Yeah, man.
We have dropped one map in Major 2.
Knock on wood.
And when I mean map, I literally mean one singular map.
Yep.
We're currently 6-0 in standings at time of recording. 6-0. We face Minnesota, I think, at 1:30.
Mm-hmm.
The boys look good. The boys look comfortable. I mean, they've clicked, but I still don't think they've clicked to fullest potential.
Yeah.
I still think there's more to come, especially in S&D. We're looking good in S&D. We're doing better in S&D. Hard points looks great. Some of them get scary. Control looks great. Just got to keep the foot on the gas mainly. If we get that first defensive round, then I feel like it's wraps from there.
Nice.
Easy wins with it.
Yeah.
Hydra still looks like Hydra. Hail Hydra. Scrap is looking back and almost looking like Toronto Ultra Scrap when they were cruising. Envoy looks like Dark Prince from 2022. And Ghosty is that fucking guy. Dan motherfucking Ghosty is that guy. I'm wearing the jersey right now. Yeah. The boys look good. Huge momentum going into Major 1. I think we have first seed secured. I could be wrong. I think another team is undefeated.
You said in Major 1? You're going to
Major 2.
Major 2. Got it. Okay.
But Optic suck right now. I don't know what's going on in that camp. I don't know what is happening. I know I said this last time too. I don't know what's going on. They're now 0-6.
Oh man.
Or 0-6. They have an 0-18 map count. They have not won a single map.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That bad?
Yes.
Wow. And they used to be a powerhouse, right? Like last year
they won champs last year.
Oh, that's right, they did.
They won the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And they have the exact same squad. That's why it's confusing on what's going on.
Is it them or that the other teams have gotten better? Obviously, you would already say that
they're
Thieves, they got super
Thieves
better.
have been the only one that has changed.
Right, but that was unique, bringing that kind of powerhouse team.
But they're losing to teams that they should beat.
Gotcha.
That it's like, and they're getting 3-0'd by teams they should beat, which has been interesting. So I don't know what's going on in that camp. They gotta fix fucking something. Drop a person, rearrange roles, do something, because fuck, nothing is working right now.
Damn, I didn't know it was that bad.
FaZe being FaZe.
Yep.
Fuck FaZe. Still. But yeah, I don't know. Hex tried to put out a 18-minute video on Enough is Enough. Hex, fix your team before you upload a video.
They're trying.
I mean, shit, go pick up Hook again, because they were actually winning with Hook and whatnot. I don't know. Optic is something. And I really want to root for Optic, but when they're losing, it's hard to root for them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know that was another one of the teams that you liked and stuff.
100 Thieves will always be my team.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. That will always be my go-to team.
Yep.
Optic was my second team, one for Shotzi and now for Ken. But even Ken is looking like shit.
Yeah, I wonder.
Well, like I get it can be a mental block sometimes.
Sure.
Just of stuff.
Yeah.
But God, shit, something needs to be fixed. Because they don't know what to do. But yeah.
Good luck to them.
That's LAT. In other news, 100 Thieves, Apex, and Valorant teams are looking very good. I don't really follow those as much, but they are looking very good. But in big news, with the game that I play a lot, and I'm currently Grandmaster 2 in this game, 100 Thieves now has a Rivals team, a Marvel Rivals team, which the game came out October... No, I lie.
Sometime in the last 6 months.
Sometime in the last 6 months.
Yes.
I think it was October. And we steamroll teams. Holy shit. These guys look phenomenal. Can't name them because I don't remember their names yet. But I know one guy that I really like is this dude named Harvey.
Harvey?
But the way he spells his name is like HXRVEY. Gamer thing, I don't know why. But I found interest to him. I don't know why I could not think of interest.
Yeah.
I found interest to him because he's also a healer and I play healer. So he's been one that I've kind of been studying in order to improve my own game. I'm Grandmaster 2, and that was just a pure skill, not trying to do anything special. Me and Riley, shout out to you, Riley, as well. Both Grandmaster 2s. We have been riding it together, riding the rank train together, getting up to GM. Hopefully we can get to Celestial. But yeah, Rivals looks amazing. 100 Thieves in general in esports just looks fucking dominant.
That's cool.
We look phenomenal in all of these esports.
I didn't realize that also in Rivals. I mean, you've been talking about like your kind of development and evolution to get to where you are, but I didn't realize that there was also like actually gaming.
Yeah, this is new. This is a new esport. Yeah. This like just came about like a month, 2 months ago.
Oh, got it. Oh, okay, got it.
So this has been in the works for a little bit, the esports, but the actual teams now is new. Like we just had our roster revealed, I think 2 days ago on Thursday. So,
how do you get kind of linked up into those things?
What do you mean?
Like, how would a person? I don't know how did 100 Thieves get their team, their Rivals team? Or I don't know.
I think you just buy spots. Same thing with COD and Valorant and Apex and whatnot. There's a lot of slots that are open, and obviously they do it to the gaming orgs, and they just buy a slot.
Gotcha. And they're responsible for getting teams together.
Yeah, they're not the gaming orgs, but the game whoever's doing the competitive scene for the game
Yeah.
is responsible for getting the teams.
Gotcha.
It's weird. I was just happy to see 100 Thieves in Rivals.
I hear you and Riley at this Grandmaster. I mean, is that anything that you guys could ever dream of trying to like? I don't know if there's a tryout. I don't know if there's a pool. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to get an understanding like how that part works. Of it.
I feel like if we submit enough clips and annoy them, but I mean, it could be a possibility. It could be a future. I don't know yet. But right now we're kind of just vibing, just
no,
being
totally.
by ourselves.
I don't know enough to know how that stuff works. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
asking. You know, like obviously there's other in baseball and football. There's a draft. You can pick up free agents. You can do whatever. But there's like
no,
a pool where you can go.
Yeah, there's
look.
no like draft.
Yeah. So that's what I was just trying to
think it's just,
understand
like,
more.
Trying to find a team or like
Yeah.
a sub team and joining
Gotcha.
that sub team, playing good, playing phenomenal, and then getting recognized by other
Yeah.
orgs.
I didn't know if, like, for example, people were just like watching how gameplay and people reaching certain levels, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, like, this looks pretty cool. Let me tap in with that guy," you know, or something.
Some are
or
good,
girl.
some are like I don't
Got
know.
it.
I don't know how they get to it.
Cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool to join an esport, even if it's not a player. Like just
Yeah.
being a media person would be cool as well too.
So we're
Being like
player.
a Josh CHX type thing.
Mhm.
He's funny. He's too funny at sometimes.
That was the guy with the
big guy.
blonde hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you met. You
The
met
big-
him. Oh, that's right. Because
Yeah, I did meet him.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, that motherfucker was tall.
Yeah, I remember
That
that.
motherfucker was tall as shit. I did not expect him to be that tall, but that motherfucker was tall. But shit, big shout out to you, Josh. I'm not even gonna lie. If y'all were to meet Josh, super nice guy, super down to earth guy. Literally, like, loves the fans, loves everything about LAT,
Yeah.
loves the team to death.
Yeah.
I always love the pack openings that he does sometimes.
Hmm.
He normally does it with Hydra because he's from France,
Gotcha.
so he doesn't know about Pokemon. as much.
Right. Sure.
But when he does the pack openings, it's hella funny.
Yeah.
Because he'll get some, like, shitty holo card, and it's just shiny, and he'll turn to Josh, he's like, is this good? There's been times he actually pulls. It's actually pretty good. He pulls good.
That's cool.
But yeah, I love Josh's content, though. Is super cool. It's super funny.
Nice.
Especially seeing, like, the little inside depths with LAT.
Mm.
Especially because our team is not serious at all. I think we're the most serious, unserious team within the league. So it's just hella funny just seeing a bunch of shit. I'm not going to quote it, but Scrap said something when we won Minor 2. That, if you take it out of context, is very bad.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I think a lot of those things end up if they're out of context.
Yeah, but love Josh. Big ups to you, Josh. Always love the content.
Yeah. He seemed like a cool. I mean, I didn't go up to him. Obviously,
No,
you
yeah.
did that time when we were in. Was it Vegas? Right.
Yeah, we're in Vegas.
Yeah.
It was that
That champs. Right?
the party thingy.
Oh yeah. I mean, from afar, it seemed like there was a lot of folks coming up to him. You could see there was like good energy coming off from him.
Yeah, we met a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Met Josh. I met Shane, who is now the head coach. I don't think the players were there.
No,
I think they were doing something else.
No.
But it was super cool.
Yeah. That was cool. Yeah, cool.
I have a weird. Just want to put this out there. I don't know what it is about me seeing certain players and being like, "Hey, they look good in a Thieves uniform." But it's happened twice.
Oh, gotcha.
So I could do the little like Doofenshmirtz meme. Where, like, if I had a nickel every time I saw a player and thought of Thieves, I'd have 2 nickels. Weird that it happened twice, but now I have 2 nickels.
That's
And I'll tell you the story. It was Vegas, and we were in the pit, or what they call the pit, for the challengers. It was when I was with you.
Yeah.
And I'd seen a certain sub player in the pit, like reminiscing on his old days, and that was actually Joe Deceives.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Joe a little bit, like, dude, love your game style, love your gameplay, like, one of my favorite young subs, which he is. I love Joe. I think he is the next prodigy with a sub player. And I was like, hey, dude, if you're going to leave LAG, just come across the street, come to LAT. What the fuck do I see in the next 2 months? We sign Joe Deceives. And I was like, holy shit. Holy shit, man. I wonder if he remembers that little interaction. If you do, Joe, I appreciate it. But it was weird. And then at the meetup, no, this is after. I think it was a couple of days after. Because we went to the same Mexican spot.
Yes, I
We
remember.
did. And there was the fucking mariachi band that damn near blew my eardrums out.
Yes.
But I said seeing a team. There was a team also eating. And there was a certain player with his girlfriends. Well, players and their girlfriends.
Yes.
And there was a certain special player that I had pointed out. I was like, hey, there goes that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And was it you or Mom that didn't like him at first because of his trash talking? Forget who. But I thought in my head, I'm like, what if he joined LAT? And then fucking Nate Shot comes out of nowhere with his whole fucking deal. Just, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. This was the roster reveal from earlier. And it's Ghost, obviously, because Ghost is our guy.
Right.
Envoy, Hydra, and then fucking Scrap. Scrap was the guy that I saw at the Mexican restaurant. Fucking long ass neck, glasses. And I was like, what if he comes to Thieves? What if that happens? And then 2 years later, he leaves Ultra and now he's on Thieves.
You're like the Nostradamus.
It's happened twice, and I don't know what's going on. But hey,
can't be mad at it.
2 really good past years after following up champs.
Yep.
So I'm not mad at it.
Cool.
But yeah, it was hella funny when I thought about it.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, because Joe came with us, and now we have Scrap. We need to go back to champs. Go see someone.
Seems like it all happens after champs.
Yeah.
Speaking of, right now we're on the waiting to hear.
We are waiting for champs, but I will say
Toronto.
for people who don't
Yes.
know esports, definitely if there's an if something's in your area, definitely check it out. I don't think tickets are ever really that expensive. They're like $30 or something.
I forgot
40
what it
bucks.
was. Remember we had gotten like
I remember when we went.
it was like a 3 or a 4 day.
When we went to LA, they were like $30-$40.
It's not
for the
too
weekend.
bad.
It's not
Yeah.
too bad.
Yeah.
Definitely go for one day. Check out the environment. I will say, LAN esports, in-person esports, definitely is overlooked and it's underestimated for how good the fans can be.
Good energy. Really, good energy.
Really high
Hyped
energy.
up.
Like they always understand the game. They know what's going on. They know what should be made. Some plays that are like, holy shit, I would have never thought about that.
Yep.
Yeah, esports is actually really, really cool.
Yep. That's cool. I recommend it too.
Yeah, they came. Him and Mom came along to 2 years.
LA and Vegas.
LA and Vegas. And then we were going to go to Texas, and then we just didn't go to Texas.
Yeah. So I forgot what happened there. But we're looking forward to possibly getting him
Possibly
to
going to Toronto to
this year's champs.
go to champs again. But yeah.
That'll be fire.
100 D's on a roll.
Yep.
That's what's good.
Yes, sir.
Other words, movies and shows. We're going to switch gears.
Yeah.
Big switch up. Captain America Brave New World just came out. Well,
it's about a month ago. You saw it first.
I saw it first.
Me and your mom didn't see it until last weekend, so finally we're able to talk about it a little bit.
What were your thoughts? Because I've heard so many reviews about the shit.
I think it was a solid, I'd say like 7.5, 8 out of 10. I really liked it.
That's what I said too.
Is it? I forgot what you. Yeah, but I think it's solid around that number. One thing, some of the things that I appreciated about it was it wasn't like, Thor, Love and Thunder, like where it starts to be like it's more of a comedy bit, and then you got superheroes in a comedy. That's been ridiculous. So this actually had a decent plot. I like to see some of the new things that Cap had. Now that it's
Sam Wilson.
now that Sam Wilson and stuff like that, some of the vulnerabilities, that's the only thing that was kind of like, damn, Yeah, I do wish he had the damn serum that he would have taken. but I mean, I think he plays a good role in it, and he seems like he's holding the line for Captain America's, right? And then he has his sidekick now, which I think makes it that much more realistic, because some of the things I think of the first 10 years and the original Captain America and the serum, and we had all that stuff, right? I could see how he is taking on, like aliens and some other forces and trying to battle on that level. I'm not saying that Sam won't. He's obviously going to live up to and try to fight folks or whatever. But it's a little harder, right? Since he really is dependent on equipment and other stuff like that. And he has a lot of, tenacity and all that stuff, which is great. It's what's needed. But having a sidekick helps in others too, and at least that helps, in some ways. But overall, I mean, I thought it was hit the mic. I thought it was a good. I thought it was a good movie.
This chair is so fucking squeaky.
I didn't. It was interesting how they brought back.
Spoiler warning for people who haven't fucking watched it yet.
It's been a month. Then you are on a cussing mode today. Everything is.
Sorry.
I'm just saying, man.
Spoiler warning for people who haven't watched the film yet.
But how they brought like that scientist back. I ain't gonna go too deep into any spoiler stuff, but
that is not what I thought he was gonna say.
See?
But still, spoiler warning for people who haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
From here on, we're going to do a spoiler warning.
Let's go.
Until we get to Daredevil.
Let's go.
From here on, spoiler warning for literally anything that you may hear.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it was, I forget his name, but that scientist and stuff. And
I forget his name, too.
And I had to totally connect the dots for your mom. Because she was lost on that one. I was like, yeah, oh no.
Because he was the scientist from The Incredible Hulk. Right? Or Emil Blonsky. That was his name. No.
He was, I can't remember. I don't think.
Was Emil Abomination?
Yes.
Okay.
And so they were in that same movie. But I can't, was it The Incredible Hulk or was it just the Hulk? I can't remember which one was the Ang
Hulk.
Lee one that he produced.
The Incredible Hulk. The Hulk has only had one movie. It's The Incredible
Hulk. All right. What I recall though, right? And this was when Ed Norton was the Hulk. Ed Norton was the actor that played the Hulk.
Yeah.
So that's where that scientist was a part of it, and when he had sex with Abomination, and so.
Because Abomination was the army general.
No, he was a soldier that the army general. So remember, the army general.
In so long.
The army general who in Brave New World is now the president, right? Ross, yeah.
Ross. Something.
Sorry. Hang up. So. That guy, right, was the general back then too, or some admiral or some crap. He was something on that. But he had enlisted a guy who was like out of his mind, hella fiery and whatever, and that's who ended up being Abomination.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
But it wasn't the general himself. But again, bringing back that scientist, I remember the way that they depicted him in Brave New World with his like head all fucked up and whatnot. I remember in that previous movie, like it was like a drop of
gamma.
The gamma, like whatever that came from the Hulk, like literally just hit his head, and then you see it kind of deforming it or whatever. But then years later, and then they explain it and what happened. I was like, oh yeah, that makes like a sense,
Yeah, I mean, I like how they brought Bucky into it.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting Bucky to be in it at all. So that was an interesting one, especially.
But it was more of a cameo. I mean, he didn't fight. Right?
No, but he still had impact.
No, you're right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Especially to help Sam at like a time of need and whatnot and everything. So that was good. I don't like the ex-widow agent. She was such a character in the film.
Yeah.
She made no sense at all to the film.
Yeah, she didn't add much.
But no, yeah. I mean, I loved how I get people were mad that, Red Hulk was the villain and this and it should have been a surprise and yada yada. And I'm like, for me in general, I knew that Ross eventually was going to turn into Red Hulk because that's his whole gimmick of just being Red Hulk. I'm kind of mad we didn't get Mustache Ross or Mustache Hulk. But I don't know. The film was good. The film was great. Critics are idiots. I get it came after Endgame, but we can't always compare everything to Endgame. Endgame is its own film. So, I loved it. I liked it. I'll definitely watch it again.
Yeah.
I just think the vulnerability from Sam was very present in it. I love the suit. The Wakanda suit was amazing.
Yeah. And remember, like, those are the things, like you said, like, critics, I mean, I don't know what you pick at, what people are seeing or what we're expecting, but it's those small ties. So to me, the scientist, to me, the Wakanda suit. When we left, right, one of the times, remember the Wakandans were talking about, like, you know, kind of opening their doors and kind of helping the rest of the world with stuff. So this, again, it falls in line. Cool. They helped and create something that took it up a level, you know.
Oh, so, and now we have adamantium.
I was going to say that's the one thing that we kind of skipped over, right?
That was the whole plot of the film.
And yeah, it was
adamantium.
Yeah, it was the big plot of the film, right? That's why everybody was going to go to war on stuff, right?
Why is it always the U.S. and Japan going to war?
Well, you know, at one time that probably would have been the U.S. and Russia. But yeah, it just seems like there are more superpowers. Yeah. Oftentimes you are absolutely right. That's what we see depicted and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the adamantium, that was obviously that sets up the whole whatchamacallit, the X-Men, hopefully. And then that kind of collabo, finally there's some things that are falling in line that could make sense to a larger story. Again,
the Secret Wars story.
Yeah. Like, I go back to my biggest criticism after, what was it? Kind of the phase one. There was of all the Marvel, the first 10 years, right? And obviously we had Endgame, and then I think it was, what was it, Spider-Man No Way Home afterwards, and I think even the multiverse was trying to, Doctor Strange.
Make it big.
Right.
But it made it too big, so now we don't know the people.
That, and remember, in the first 10 years, it's like everything was connected. There was a hint.
Everything
to
was the build-up to the last one, and that was the new set.
From some of the beginning ones, some of the beginning Marvel movies, there was mentions of Thanos and this, and you'd see glimpses, or there'd be those post-credit scenes and all that kind of stuff. It was all leading up to this big fight. And they played it out well. It seems after Endgame, why, like, their stories, I get it, cool, but there's not a unified something at the end. So the buildup is very different. It just seems like all scattered all over, right? So between shows and, you know, the WandaVision and then all that, you know, they just seem to be just...
The first 2 episodes of WandaVision suck. You cannot change my mind. They suck.
Just slow and start.
I hated it.
Yeah. It was very, what?
I did not like it at all.
Yeah. Well, it didn't jump into it. It took its time to develop its storyline.
It was such a hard watch.
Yeah,
in the first.
I'm
first 2 episodes.
I
so
am
hard.
not trying to convince you otherwise. I recall,
But I will say the shows are good. Some of the shows.
Some of the shows are good.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier is definitely one of the best ones. Moon Knight is the best
That one was
show
really
that
good.
came out of it. I really hope they either do a season 2 or he comes back.
The Hawkeye one, I really wasn't.
Really?
I wasn't. Feeling
I like the Hawkeye one because it showed his life and like what was wrong and like everything that just went to shit. Because remember,
I go back to it just didn't enhance anything. Again, because we don't have a story we're leading to. As a standalone, sure.
Clint was just a regular guy.
I got you on that and whatnot. But how do I say, like, it was made, and for me, great. I didn't really need to know more about Hawkeye to anything. So it felt like a filler to me, right?
Yeah.
There's some things that are for the sole purpose, you know. I've liked Black Widow, you know, as a whatever. Even that movie, you know, when it was
I didn't
made,
like that one.
it was like, again, a filler. Like, and because these, especially with those two that I'm just saying right now, Hawkeye and Black Widow, because there was no enhancement. There was no, like, they're, you know, don't get me wrong, they're raw ass, you know, like characters and, you know, and part of the Avengers or whatever. But there wasn't like really a super backstory, right? You think of others with, you know, the Hulk and the Gamma stuff and, you know, Spider-Man and the whole radioactive spy. Like, there's actual stories.
By a radioactive spider.
There's all these stories that go so much deeper. Captain America and all his ties back to, you know, World War I or II, right? And like that was, you know, back in history, and you know, like there's that kind of stuff. And so there's already enough stuff to try to tap in with, like a filler story. Just that's why it never hit me, you know.
It was weird.
Yeah. So
Loki was still a very good series. I actually really liked the Loki series.
did you watch the the second season of Loki?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The final season of Loki?
I thought there had been rumors about a season 3, so it was the final one.
There can't be a season 3.
Well, mind you, at that time, I'll be honest, I did not watch
the ending
the second season.
The ending of season 3 is now Loki holds the timelines together.
Gotcha. I haven't even seen that whole thing.
Yeah, he is basically the timeline now.
Gotcha. Well,
But yeah.
well, sticking to Marvel. How about Daredevil? What you thinking about Daredevil?
Unspoiler warning.
Boring.
We'll go back to spoiler warning in a little bit.
Yeah.
It's cool. I mean, I don't know much about Daredevil other than that he's blind and he has super hearing and shit. I mean, it looks cool. I haven't watched the second episode or the third episode yet.
Mm-hmm. Then I won't talk about that one.
It seems cool. There's nothing much.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, there's nothing much. I've always known the Daredevil character.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I seen one criticism about like there's no Elektra. There's no Elektra, so that's one thing, or at least not to this point.
But was Elektra a Daredevil character? I feel like she was her own character.
But there was a lot of union with the two.
Oh.
They did a lot of stuff together. Yes, Elektra, I think, well, from what we know, before there was an Elektra movie, there was a Daredevil, then there was some collabo, and I think they do collaborate.
And there was a Blade
on
movie.
their kind of work together or whatever, right? And the comics and stuff, they do collaborate. But at this point, there's no Elektra, and you know, it is what it is. Maybe later on down the road, a new character does get introduced into it real briefly. And I was like, oh shit! In the third episode, I ain't gonna tell you. You gotta watch it.
I really don't care. Spoiler warning.
Yeah,
I really don't care.
Punisher.
Oh. Yeah, I kind of knew that he was going to come into it.
I knew that.
I just didn't know what episode, but
yeah. At the end.
Come into it.
At the end of the.
I kind of figured
episode.
when the cops had the little Punisher school.
No, I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But
in the second episode, he holds the hand, the sleeve.
Oh
comes
yeah,
down,
that's
and
right.
it's
That's
the
right.
Punisher skull.
Yeah, gotcha. I thought you said like it was a skull that they were holding.
No, yeah,
but it was
he
attaching.
dropped his skull. His skull came out.
I don't think I.
I'm completely kidding.
I was like, I don't remember that stuff.
His skull popped out, and his skull was elongated.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he has a bit at the end.
Speaking of a different show,
Yes, sir.
no title card because they didn't do it. But Invincible has finished season 3.
Yes, season
And
3.
holy shit. Spoiler warning, back again.
I don't know if it's on or off anymore. You just keep throwing.
Spoiler warning is
something.
on.
Gotcha.
For people who haven't watched it, it's been 2 days since the season finale came out. I watched it the minute it came out. And holy shit. Conquest is like Thanos. Dear Lord. That dude was brutal.
Yes. That I will agree.
I
He was
think
brutal.
Conquest could still kill Thanos, though.
I will remind you, just to, that Thanos. There were teams that needed to battle against Thanos, and there was one-on-one action between Conquest and Invincible. So I would say no. I think
It wasn't
that's
one-on-one. It was like a 3-on-1.
When?
Adam and Oliver. Well, okay, Adam Eve put more of a fight than Oliver. Oliver got destroyed. We'll throw the clip in.
Wait.
Wee.
But there wasn't 3 of them coming at him at any one time, like for any significant time. Just like you said, Invincible was down. Oliver came in. Oliver was down, and then he got lost in the rubble.
He died.
And then it was just Invincible, him battling one-on-one. All battle one-on-one.
And then it was
Invincible, broken boned, over here, all this kind of stuff. And then it was Eve one-on-one with him, right? I'm thinking of times when, like, say, Thanos was on Titan, right? For example, his planet. I believe Drax was holding him down. Spider-Man was holding him down. I believe Doctor Strange was also holding him down. I swear Star-Lord threw one of his things that was holding one of his arms down to that magnetic thing that was holding one of his arms down. And then on top of that, they had to put, what's her name?
Mantis.
To go put him to sleep. That tells me, he's fighting a few more than just a one-on-one, right? And then I remember, again, I believe it was Captain America. No, sorry, it was Thor, I think, choking him out while Captain America was trying to beat him up. And then Iron Man was doing something. So, again, there was 3-on-1. That's what Thanos was dealing with, not just the one-on-one. So, for me, I don't know. But Conquest was coming with some. He was on a whole other tip, man. And to be able to do what he was doing with Invincible, I get it. They was getting down and stuff.
I mean, Jesus.
He was a maniac. That's
I
what
want to touch on Oliver real quick. Love the kid.
Leave Oliver.
Love the kid. But holy cow, these two got destroyed. I know I said insert clip earlier. I won't do it there. But here. Okay, you watch the clip. Oh my God. Dude, I was so ready for him to throw a haymaker, and then we just see, boom. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then
I felt bad.
To make it worse, they added an impact frame. And do you know what impact frames are?
When you're just showing the...
No.
Oh, wait.
An impact frame is when it goes black and white. To show like the impact of something.
Gotcha.
Oh my God. That was brutal.
Yeah.
And then he was getting stretched out like some dough.
I thought
he was going to get ripped apart.
Oh, I did too.
I thought he was going to die. But then the one thing that I wanted that didn't happen was to Omni-Man to come back and save one of his sons or something. That didn't happen.
Actually, I wanted to see Alan more. Alan.
I wanted to see Nolan save Oliver and then Alan save Mark.
I dig Alan. Alan the alien.
I love Alan. Alan's so funny. The whole thing of like, you can break out of here. I know, but I'm not leaving without you, Nolan.
Yes. Oh, when he was trapped.
That was hella funny to me.
That was hella funny.
But yeah, shit. Season.
Well, wait.
Or not season 3. Episode 8 was something.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, woo. That.
Adam Eve got.
There were all the other good episodes, and then this one was kind of like, ooh, damn. All right.
Adam Eve got killed.
That's
Basically
I wanted to
got
go
killed.
back to that one, dude. Oh, dude. I have never seen like teeth up by your ear, at the top of your ear. Like that. See, I was like, damn. Conquest really jacked her up with one of
That one, I'm
uppercut.
glad that they brought her back to her roots from the Adam and Eve special.
Oh, you mean the powers that she had?
Yeah, the powers that she
Yep.
has. So basically, she resurrected.
Yeah.
She fixed herself because she can. Her power is that she can change matter.
Yes.
They're atoms, basically. And from the Adam Eve special to now, they made her seem like she was some
Weakly.
shit character.
Yep.
Like she didn't know what to do.
Yep.
So that one was a good one.
Yep.
And I'm glad they buffed her up again. But yeah, the resurrecting thing was hella funny to me. Because I knew in my head, I'm like, I know she's not out. She's going to come back one way or another.
So just because I know it's stuck in for me that the visual, right? It was like literally Conquest with that punch had like just put, like I said,
That was so.
the mouth was all the way up here. You know, she was chewing, like I said, part of her ear. And then, her guts were just hanging out when he had punched
Oh my God,
the
that
hole
was
through
so-
her. You could see, like, some of the...
Her intestines.
Yes, her intestines.
I think it
stuff.
was her small intestine.
Fortunately, she hadn't eaten anything, I guess, that day. But, but that was... Yes, that was a little... I was like, ooh.
I liked some of the parallels that they did, actually.
Like, what would you...
The one where Conquest is holding Mark, and he's just flying through what looked like Miami. I doubt it was, and then just killing everybody.
No, yeah.
There was a parallel back to season 1 when Nolan was holding Mark, and it was the train coming, and it was just killing everybody in the train. So that was a good parallel.
Yeah.
But yeah, also, episode 7. If you haven't watched episode 7, hurry up. It's been out for a week. Rex. And Rex dying. I damn near cried because of Rex. Rex started to grow on me. He really did.
Yeah. He was a lovable jerk.
And then he just killed himself.
Well, he also killed
He also killed
the Invincible,
the Invincible.
virtual he was fighting, right?
Yeah.
So
That was the one thing I hated. He died
But he sacrificed
seeing his
himself.
best friend, but also killing his best friend.
Yeah.
But it wasn't his best friend.
Right. It was another universe's version.
Yeah. Another dimension.
Another dimension, yeah.
That's how they call
Yep.
it.
Dimensions, you're right. So, yeah.
I got so sad with that one.
Yeah, man.
And then episode 8 when they're the memorial and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And then Eve's trying to actually like grieve and whatnot, and Mark's over here smiling and shit. I was like, dude, shut up. I don't care.
I mean, I don't know what to say on that one, right? Like, I hear you, and it was a serious moment. It seemed awkward.
I get the perception of, oh, my water bottle. I get the perception of like, feel for the guy and like let her grieve. Like that was her first love. That was her first everything. That was her first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let her grieve a little bit. But then I get the perception of he literally watched her die. So seeing her still alive is like a happy moment and everything.
Well, let's not also ignore, right? Sure, there was that part. He almost died.
Yeah, and he
Oliver almost died. Like
everyone
again,
almost died.
Conquest was on that level where, like, there at times I thought it was going to take that the only way that they would survive would be if Omni-Man and or Alan or both would come.
Yeah.
Like, it totally felt like they were in that much jeopardy. All the damage that got done, all the other humans that got killed. Like, it was like, how do we battle this dude? And I will say this, at least that would compare to when, you talked about Thanos. Like, when Thanos hit the scene back then and it was like, there's no imaginable way to how to fucking stop this guy, right?
Yeah.
And that, I think, Conquest absolutely brought. People were watching, on TV, Invincible getting his ass whooped, essentially, right? And here, even though what's his name, Conquest was bloody, he's just like loving it.
He was not
blood.
bloody.
his nose, remember?
That was it. You saw Mark.
I'm not saying it was more than Mark. I'm saying he was bloody. He's tasting his blood. He's happy from shit. He's thanking Mark.
I was gonna say that. The whole thing of like, thank you, Mark. I don't know what the hell you did to piss us off, but I thank you.
Yes.
For pissing us off, because then I get sent here.
Yeah.
On a by all means take Earth type of situation. Yes. Oh my God, I heard that monologue and I was like, oh, Mark's dead. Mark's gonna die.
It had that vibe. So yes, going back to the sad scene or that thing after the funeral part of it, like, when your life is that much in jeopardy and then everything works out for you to some degree, right? Hey, he was just happy to be alive himself and his girl and his little brother.
It's like, I get it from his point of view, and then from the other point of view, let the motherfucker grieve. Shit.
You just wanted to stay in that.
Let us grieve.
That's hilarious.
No, I mean, Cecil's an idiot too. Cecil is, he finds more ways for people to hate him. And before we finish this, for the people who have read the comics, I get it. They're going off of comic accuracy. But we haven't read the comics. So there's a million possibilities that could happen. So before we have people saying, hey, dumbass, this is what happens in the comics. I get what happens in the comics. We're just here to wait for the animation show. Because for me, that's what I started first. And that's what you started first too.
Yep.
We're not going to read the comics because I don't want to spoil it for me. I'd rather have it animated and wait for that to finish. And then we go read the comics. And if I want to read the comic accuracy, I'll go read that and compare it. But so before that happens, shut up.
But even like you're saying, like, even I'm sure when people were reading the comics, right, you got to this same point in the comic.
No, yeah,
and I'm sure
I get that point.
Some other people might have been like, what the fuck are you doing, Cecil?
Yeah, I get that point. So Cecil, you're still an idiot.
Yes.
At
this point in time, you're an idiot.
I know I'm speaking to the camera like he's an actual person. He's not. For our viewers, it's all animation, all fictional characters.
Yes.
Hate Cecil. Cecil's a dumbass. Why are we keeping Conquest alive? Did we not just see what happened? I get he's sitting on 6 tons of explosive. It's Conquest we're fucking talking about. I bet you he's going to survive.
Oh, I'm sure that's part of the story.
And now we have Conquest again, and then we have to wait for Anissa to come back and all those other people.
I think this is funny. For me, there's a comparison of Cecil and part of Tony Stark, where
trying to learn from the mistakes.
Trying to advance, try to this, try to all that, but you don't really have the power over it, right? Everything that, initially, Tony Stark, right? All he was worried was a Tesseract, right? And then obviously Infinity Stones and it just got more complicated. And so I think Cecil's on that tip. Like, he's trying to learn, he's trying to this, but when you cannot control, like you said, those numerous feats of dynamite or whatever he's in, and like, I don't think that's going to hold him, right? So,
yes, he was 6 miles underground.
Yeah.
With 40 tons of explosive. If he even budges an inch, he's dead.
Like, that's not, I don't see how that again, you're trying to control a situation that you are.
He's trying to learn
ill-equipped.
about Viltrum, but
Right.
I feel like this is the worst way possible.
Absolutely.
To
I agree.
learn about Viltrum.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved the show.
Yeah.
I will continue to love the show. One of the greatest
dig it.
animated shows
I dig it. Yep.
to come out.
Yep.
But yeah,
Is that
it's a wrap.
a wrap with us, man? There's some
Yeah.
exciting stuff going on.
A lot of stuff going on.
Lots of passion. Lots of cussing.
We thank you again for joining us on this podcast, Like Father Like Son podcast, episode 22. Follow us on Instagram, Like Father Like Son PCast. Follow us on TikTok, Like Father Like Son PCast 2716. Because TikTok likes numbers, and we still have no idea why. Email us with comments, questions, concerns, inquiries, whatever the hell you want to send us. Like Father Like Son PCast at gmail.com. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for when we upload, because we don't have a consistent schedule. We're trying to get there, trying to get to the consistency.
Yup.
Yeah. With that, episode 22 is wrap. We'll see you on episode 23.
Yes.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace out.